I don't like Pizzeria Simulator. That's right, Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator, often regarded by some as one of the best games in the franchise by its amazing story, with many funny moments, a wonderful ending, and the best characters in the series. And I think it's the worst out of the 14 mainline games, if you count Ruin as a standalone game and Into the Pit as part of the main series. In this video, I will be going over all the reasons as to why this title sucks in every aspect. Hope you enjoy. The history of FNAF 6 is quite complicated. After the release and big success of Sister Location, Scott wanted to give us the 6th installment of the series, and in fact, he hyped the fan base by releasing a Steam post where he announced that the next game was going to be FNAF 6 and even mentioned the idea of making a Pizzeria Tycoon game. And after that Steam post, the Freddy files were released, which at the end contained an image of what we now know as Scrap Baby. At the time, she was called Freak Show Baby, but whatever. People were very happy to see this redesign of Baby and thought that maybe the next installment will have more of her since, well, Sister Location dedicated only one section where we can see the full model of Baby. Anyways, after that, the next teaser will be, well, a teaser to the Pizzeria Tycoon game. And people were certainly not happy as the days went on. He continued to release teasers for the Pizzeria Tycoon until its released game, where it was revealed that actually that game was FNAF 6. Now guys, hear me out. If you want to promote a game that will end the series, a troll isn't the right way to do that. For starters, if the people think it's a troll, then they will not play it unless they're really passionate for the series, just like FNAF World. And beyond that, new FNAF that will want to play all the FNAF games will think that this game is like FNAF World, a filler, non-scary game, and will not play it. Granted, Pizzeria Simulator is free, but that doesn't excuse the troll marketing of this game. It's like the Sister Location banner, where instead of putting motherfucking Circus Baby, the literal face of that game, Scott put Funtime Freddy. I know that they're two different things, but the meaning is the same. The troll was well done, but doing that with the potential final game of the series just isn't the right way to do it. If you know your series is going to end, promoting the finale with a troll. But anyways, let's go to another point of why this game sucks ass. I can confidently say that the animatronics in Pizzeria Simulator are some of the worst in terms of teasing, and some of them even story, before talking about the main four, which I'll have a lot to say. And I'm looking at you, Scrap Trap. I want to dive into the Tycoon animatronics, those being the rock stars, the mediocre melodies, Trash in the Gang, the posh pizzeria ones, and the general vendors like Fruit Punch Clown or Prize King. For starters, I want to talk about the ones that should have been in the office parts of the night, since they're actually scary. The rock stars. Rockstar Freddy, for me, looks really good, and I would see it as both a performer and an actual treat in the game. Same for Rockstar Bonnie. But even then, Bonnie just looks dumb. Like, that blue on his skin for me just doesn't work. I'm sorry. But I can say that he's not as dumb as Rockstar Foxy. This is the example of what a FNAF character should not look like. The peg leg and the parrot, combined with the overall look, make this teasing weak as fuck. It would have been better if he was torn apart like a mangle. I would have seen that. But even then, the peg leg, I don't know, is something that I would not have put in an official FNAF character. And let's not talk about Rockstar Chica. Easily the worst design, aside from one of the scraps that Scott could have created. I mean, the Mexican vibe doesn't work, and her teeth don't help with the overall design. Moving on, the posh pizzeria ones don't work as intended. Funtime Chica is okay, I suppose, but then we have Music Man, which for me is a nothing burger. I think that if it wasn't for DJ Music Man and the Matt Pat meme this guy will be left forgotten. And L chip, as I said before with Rockstar Chica, just doesn't work. Like, if you walk in a normal pizzeria and see a beaver with a sombrero, I think you would look at that weird and think that it's out of place. And then we have the mediocre melodies in Tresh and the Gang that just look bad fan-made characters. And I get they're meant to be a joke, but remember, this is the final game. Adding bad rendered fan-made characters don't work in your final entry. And finally, the vendors. I don't even want to say anything. I'm sorry for all you Spiff fans, but they don't fit in the game. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the main four, or as I like to call them, the scraps. Starting with the one I personally like the most, Lefty. As I said before when talking about the Rockstars, Lefty in both the salvage and the office section works really well. I don't get why Henry had to put the puppet in Lefty, but overall this is the one character that works in the game, even if his jump scare is complete ass. Moving on, Scrap Baby is the second I like the most, due to her section when she has her eyes down and then she looks at you. But her overall design is just weak. I'm not a fan of the fact that you can literally count the pixels on her face and she looks like a mess, which I think was intended, but for me doesn't fit. And her story is just a complete mess. And first, in Sister Location, she wants to kill her father by scooping him, but now she wants to accomplish him, really. And this is one of the many things that proves this game was rushed. Before talking about Scrap Trap, I want to talk about Molten Freddy. His design is okay. I don't have to complain all that much since it's the same opinion as Scrap Baby, but this fits less than her. The only thing good is actually his lore. I like the fact that he's supposed to be a killing machine powered by Remnant, and this would have been cool if the blueprint where you discover this wasn't cut last minute. But now, oh boy, let's talk about the man behind the slaughter. William Afton, or as many like to call him, Scrap Trap. I'm sad that a great character like Springtrap was reduced to this. And the problem is not the design, which is the worst design in any horror game, even Lily Lovebraids from Poppy Playtime, but the character himself. For starters, why can he talk now? How did he change the suit after the fire? And why did he coos the most horrendous one? The fact that he can talk makes the character's credibility non-existent. He's a rotten corpse, but can make clear sentences. Plus, he's way too tiny to believe there's a human inside. Now, it's like the Wish version of Springtrap. And I could go on for eternity talking about just the design, but I'll move on to the next part of the video, the gameplay. The gameplay. Oh my god, the gameplay. I think this is the most boring and no-sense gameplay out of any Five Nights at Freddy's. Even more than FNAF 2, which is considered to have a bad gameplay. First of all, every animatronic has the same mechanic, so having Scrap Trap to be the main villain is thrown out of the window. And second, if you have bad luck, this game is literally impossible. The Bones 5 made a video testing out every single FNAF Max mode with the worst possible luck, and in FNAF 6, he couldn't even make it past the first 10 seconds. But even the fact that this is supposed to be the final FNAF game and doesn't bring some old FNAF things like the cams, for example, plus for the characters, if this is your final game, why on earth put two versions of Enard instead of Golden Freddy? I know that if he did that, UCN wouldn't exist, but this isn't a good excuse. Also, to add more critiques in this senseless mess, why do you have to order the same things for 6 nights? Why the tasks don't change? Okay, maybe it's better if I stop asking questions to myself. Let's talk about the story. Okay, the story is passable, the ending is fantastic, I admit that, but one ending can't redeem an entire game. And then one ending out of seven useless endings, except for the Insanity ending and the Lore Keeper, which, let's talk about the 3 lore mini games, because I have some beefs even with them. First, the security puppet minigame. It's cool to see the death of Charlie, if we didn't see it already in FNAF 2. But since it's from the puppet's perspective, it's cooler, right? No, it isn't. We still don't know if the murder happened at Fredbear's or at Freddy's, and that could seem not relevant. But actually, it's important to understand the motives. But let's go to Fruity Maze. This is the best one of the three. I don't have anything to complain about except for the fact that it doesn't link to the other two lore minigames. And the third one, oh my god, Midnight Motorist. If Scott wanted to create more questions in the final game of the franchise, congrats. Even to this day, we haven't been able to solve this ass minigame that is supposed to take place after Charlie's death. So why is the purple guy orange, and who is the one watching the TV? Who is the one running away? Who, and why? So there you have it. A video where I go in depth as to why I don't like Pizzeria Simulator. Let me know in the comments your honest opinion. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in another video. Bye.